If you haven't had a chance to check out this crazy article here written by Ben Palmer in the PitcherList, go ahead. I'm going to leave it down in the description below and read it for yourself. But this video is going to cover my thoughts on it. So diving right in, this article is a direct shot at Mike Elias and David Rubenstein, but primarily Mike Elias. It almost seems like someone is out to really make Mike Elias look bad. And this article, out of left field, there's been no trouble in Baltimore or anything like that. So this article comes out of left field and really points a big blame at Mike Elias. But let's talk about it. So the very first sentence of this entire article reads this: the source described a very soiled front office in which Elias has few checks or balances against his vision for the team. Right off the bat, that's what you get out of this article. Someone claiming that there is no one in this entire franchise that will hold Mike Elias accountable for what he's doing for the team. Now, you could say, yes, there's new ownership. We have heard him make comments that he leaves the baseball stuff up to Mike Elias. I get that. But there's other baseball people in this organization. There's Cal Ripken in this organization. There's enough people here that would not sit silent and let Mike Elias just do whatever he wants if they didn't agree with it. There's people in this front office now that want to win. Mike Elias wants to win. So to sit here and right from the gate blame him and say that, and also blame everyone else in that front office and say that no one is there to hold him accountable, to check and balance him, that's my tick number one in this article. Now, one thing that I want to bring light right away before I get anywhere else into this article is how many people were let go from the organization in the front office and from the major league team and the scouting department. So, and why I'm bringing this up is as we get more into this article, you realize that this is basically a disgruntled employee as the quote unquote source. The Orioles let go of three prominent front office people: Bill Wilkes, Ben Sussman-Hyde, and Sam Burke. Wilkes served as the Orioles manager of Major League Strategy last year, and he'd been in that role since October of 2021. Sussman-Hyde was the creative manager for the team, and Burke finished up as the advanced scouting analyst. Let's go even further. Both hitting coaches were let go. The Major League coach was let go. The bench coach and Freddie Gonzalez was also let go. And more front office people were also let go, along with some advanced scouts. Why I think this is important. Again, in this article, you will hear many points that sounds like a disgruntled employee. You also hear many points that are from complete left field. There's a lot of people that know people in the warehouse, that know people in the front office, and that know people on the team. Something like this, and we'll get into it in this article about Juan Soto. If Mike Elias decided not to trade for Juan Soto when he was told to, that would have come out a very, very long time ago. Not a month or two after some of these guys were let go from the organization. But I also want to kind of touch on how many people were promoted in the organization, which is a great thing. Mike likes to build from the ground up. He gives a lot of guys opportunities to get better. They went in a different direction, and a lot of people got promoted. Also, why that's important is because did someone get overlooked for a position that they really wanted? And now here comes some spewing nonsense. I'm not completely discarding this entire article. You'll understand why I'm saying some of this, though, because of the words and the terminology used from this source. So let's look at the next part of this article here. The vision for the Orioles, which the source described as a vanity project for Mike Elias, is to build a team that serves for the antithesis to teams like the New York Yankees and the LA Dodgers, and prove that an organization can be built from the ground up rather than purchased through free agency. However, Elias is in over his head in building a major league roster, the source noted. There's currently no one within the Orioles front office as close to equal footing as Elias that could serve as a check on his decisions. Instead, Elias is evaluating people within the organization who allow him to maintain his personal vision for the team rather than shaking things up. What are your thoughts there? There could be some truth to some of this. Is there some people within the organization that is as smart as Mike Elias? Yes. There's Cal Ripken Sr. there. Does he know how to build a team yet? Maybe not just yet, but you know what he has been? He's been around the game of baseball for a very long time. His father was also a manager. They kind of know how to build a team. Sig knows how to build a team. There's a lot of people in that front office that have been around the game of baseball for a very long time. It's not like Mike Elias just went and picked people off the street and said, hey, I have this vision. I need you to be a yes man and just follow what I want to do. That's not how this front office was put together. Where I think this could be potentially true is the quote saying that he wanted to build a team and not pay for it like the Yankees and Dodgers. We've seen him hoard a couple prospects, but I've also seen that term thrown around a lot, and he doesn't hoard prospects. He traded 10 of them just last year, 2 of them for Corbin Burns. Yes, I know he hasn't signed people. We're getting to that point. Here's another part of the article that I want to kind of focus on. In addition, Elias doesn't want ownership to spend large amounts of money on free agents because it would make Elias more accountable and place higher expectations on him, according to the source. What expectation is there? When you don't sign people, that puts you in the window. These guys are investment people. They invest to make money. They're not going to stand around and watch Mike Elias not improve their team and not make them money. Another quote here. The source added the Orioles' new ownership group is naive and has no idea what they bought last year, and Rubenstein himself will defer to Mike Elias rather than force Elias's hand. Hello? That's what most good owners do. They hire a GM to run the team. They do not run it themselves. They don't have a baseball background most of the time. They just enjoy the sport. They hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Again, tick number 2 of this article, that's just not very smart. But to say the news ownership was naive and they didn't know what they were getting into, tick number 3, businessmen and investors know exactly what they're getting into. They do their homework, they pull their analytics, they pull their numbers. They make sure that what they're investing in is going to make them a profit because they're not idiots and they're not going to dump money into something and turn around and lose it immediately. It's not how successful business people are made. Do they make mistakes? Sure. They don't make big mistakes like this very often. And the last part of this I want to touch on. This isn't the first time ownership has given Elias the green light to make a big splash. Elias declined to do so. The source noted last year, John Angelos gave Elias permission to seek out a deal to acquire San Diego Padres outfitter Juan Soto, but Elias was uninterested in the proposition. The Yankees went on to acquire Soto. That's my face on that. John Angelos did not approve absolutely anything that would have costed the Orioles to spend money prior to him selling the team. The more we get into this article, you can kind of see they take direct shots at certain things. This whole Soto thing, that would have gotten out. Let's be real with ourselves. That would have gotten out by somebody in that front office, somebody in that warehouse, somebody on that team. Somehow. And it didn't. It's complete bogus. I get you don't name your sources in journalism and stuff like that. But when it comes to something like this, complete out of left field, when there's been no turmoil in Baltimore whatsoever, I'm sorry, I can't believe more than half of this article. I just can't. You guys let me know down in the comment section below. How do you feel about it?